Nope.
Oh yeah, there we
There we go.
go.
There we
Hey
go.
everybody, welcome back to another episode of Do That But Better. I'm Eric.
And I'm Zach. Up that way.
Gotta point that way. It's all reversed.
There we go.
Ah, how's it going, Zach?
I'm doing all right. Everything's getting a little bit crazy.
Mm-hmm.
Um, yeah, you're not going to be in for the holidays, right?
No, we're sticking around here. And not only are we sticking around here, but my in-laws are coming, meaning mother and father-in-law. Plus, then after Christmas, between Christmas and New Year's, other brother-in-law and his wife and their 6 kids are all coming.
Oh no. What? That is awesome.
Yep. So what's that? 6, 9. So yeah, 10 children from basically like 10 to newborn plus 8 adults
Holy cow.
and a dog.
That is amazing. Are they staying at your house?
I believe so.
Now, will they all be at your house at the same time?
For a few days, yes.
Dude, that is awesome.
Yep.
That sounds like one of the funnest things I've ever heard.
Yeah. If you've ever seen National Lampoon's Christmas Vacation,
You, do you want to know something? I haven't.
you should probably watch it.
I don't, I'm not going to. And here's why. I'm not a big fan of any of the National Lampoon or I'm not a big fan of Chevy Chase in general. I'm just going
Actually,
to say
I
that.
can I can relate to that. I can see why people don't enjoy it.
Hmm.
It is a cultural touchstone.
True. Yeah. But I also feel so I've only seen like bits and pieces of multiple of those movies
Hmm.
and they didn't really keep my interest. And I feel like if I watch them now, I'll just be like, yeah, that really sucked.
I
And
do
so,
think I think last year was the first time I ever watched it straight through that I
oh yeah,
recall. Yeah.
yeah. I the I did that with Animal House, and so it was like I repeated so many things from Animal House before I ever saw it,
Mostly
and
just the zit joke.
yes, the zit joke. There was the bombing Pearl Harbor. Speaking of, today is Pearl Harbor Day, isn't it?
Yeah, that's true.
Oh, crazy. I don't, do you say Happy Pearl Harbor Day? Like, what
I don't think so.
do you celebrate it? There's
I don't know
remembrance.
that. Yeah, yeah.
Yeah, but yeah. So there's always stuff like that, and uh, I finally actually I had always wanted to see it, and Natalie bought it for me, and I was like, this is the stupidest movie I've ever seen in my life, and, because it was all the jokes that I said when I was like in sixth grade. It was
Hmm.
like this is not funny anymore. But I think that definitely I feel like what is it, Monty Python? Monty Python. If you see it when you're in sixth grade, it's absolutely hilarious, and when you watch it, it feels good because it feels like you're in sixth grade.
Hmm.
But if you're watching it for the first time, and we actually did this once at the firehouse, like somebody hadn't seen it. We're like, you got to watch this, and you're 30 years old. You're like, you've got to be kidding me. You've got to be kidding me.
Lisa and I just did that like a year or so ago because she had never seen it. And we're like, all right, let's watch it. And I mean, there are a few parts where like, oh wait, come watch this part because this
Yeah.
is funny. But most of it's pretty slow, dry English humor.
Oh, absolutely brutal. But yeah. But speaking of the holidays, so and your situation, holy crap. uh, so this is really one of my favorite times of the year, and I don't even know what I love about it, but we always have our singing party, and actually just recently the kids were asked to play at a Christmas dinner, and it became the
Right.
McGathy show. And so the four kids put together like their repertoire with harmonies and everything else, and so they played a bunch of Christmas songs. Natalie played all the like interlude time on the piano, and then me and Maddie played a duet with the bagpipes and drums. It was fantastic, but I feel like things like that, like these weird little um, times together are like super prevalent. All of a sudden, everyone wants to do it, which I absolutely love. But they
Hmm.
also get very stressful.
Totally.
And I would say, like for me, presents and parties are probably the most stressful for me. And not because I love being at parties, but I don't want to have to do anything, right?
Yeah.
If somebody tells me I have to do something, it's like I'm out. And that, especially when it comes to gifts, So I I get I have some weird just relationships with gifts, and so whether giving or accepting.
Hmm.
And now at Christmas, where it's like, all right, who do I buy for? What do I buy? How much do you have to spend on this person? And it's just like it is like the biggest um, pain in the butt for me.
Hmm.
I want to give you something when I think of it.
Yeah. Yeah. It's like totally built up. I feel like I have the exact same issues around gifts
Mm-hmm.
that I rarely ever think like, oh, I would really like that. And so
Right.
then I never really think, oh, they would like that. I'm like, I don't want anything. Why would anyone want anything?
Yeah. Yeah. 100%. And yeah. So how do you navigate around that?
Well, I mean, with the holidays in general, there's so
Mm-hmm.
much. Like, okay, obviously that's our thing, is the gifts.
Mm-hmm.
But for some people, maybe it is the parties or the family, right? Like family arguments that happened a long time ago, and now all that stuff comes back up during the holidays. Or, I mean, everyone talks about trauma now,
Mm-hmm.
but I mean, that stuff comes into play. Um, and really, like your role in a family or in a group
Mm-hmm.
comes back. If you go back to your hometown and you're at the bar with your old friends, all of a sudden you're like starting to act like the person you were 15 years ago.
Mm.
And maybe you really don't like that person that you used to be,
Yeah.
And same thing with your family. Now, like if you've changed your lifestyle significantly and now you come back, you're expected to fill that old role. And so like there's all these weird dynamics that come into play. And I think that's why so many people, when you get into the holidays, it's like, oh, I just want to survive the holidays. Right? It's
Yeah.
like, okay, what what does what does not surviving the holidays look like? And what does surviving the holidays look like? Right?
That's an
Like we tend
interesting
to
question. Yeah. Like, well, yeah. So what does not surviving mean? Like, did you die?
right. Yeah, right? Like we use this language and if you get a little more clear about like what do you mean? What would not surviving the holidays be? Like what's worst case scenario? What are you imagining is going to happen? And I think that just like so many other things, like the clarity, getting specific makes such a big difference. Of like,
Mm-hmm.
is it your diet? Are you worried about, gaining a bunch of weight at the end of the year after you've put in a lot of work? Are you worried about missing workouts because people are in town for a week and you won't be able to keep your normal schedule? Are you worried about arguments that might come up? Are you worried about someone judging you or making like backhanded comments to you? Are you worried about the gifts you're giving to someone or that they're going to give you and you won't be able to reciprocate? Like all the, right? So recognizing what exactly am I worried about? Because then you can ask yourself, like, is that realistic? Does it make sense to be worried about this? And can I control it?
Right. Yeah. Did you see? Did you see recently in our family page the arguments going on about when we're having Christmas?
I saw it start. I
Yeah, it's fantastic. And I went, okay, you guys do that, and let me know when it is. But I
uh,
feel like it's not a good holiday unless you have a little bit of an argument. Somebody's got to be a little bit ticked off.
That's why they have us to like throw in the joke at the end so everyone can laugh and walk away.
I do feel like going back to what is your role. I feel like that is the role that I usually take. Um, I feel like I shut off. So when things get a little bit crazy, I just go, I don't even want to do this. Like I don't care. So I'm going. So I feel like that is it can be good for me, but not necessarily great for a situation.
Hmm.
But I I tend to go if everything is not how I care for it to be, I don't need to be here. You know what I mean?
Hmm.
And I don't know how that necessarily makes other people feel, but yeah, like that's almost my take on it. And it's like, all right, I'll just go sit in the corner. I'll go
Go
down
to
to
the
a different,
kids' table.
go to the kids table, and it's like I don't want to be around here anymore.
Hmm. Right? And like that feeling could be based on like for a lot of people it could just be like a certain person, right? Like
Mhm.
families don't all get along with each other. So when you get a big group of people together, like it might just be I don't get along with that person and so I don't want to be here with everyone else.
Mhm.
It's like, okay, well, is that rational? Does that make sense?
Yeah.
Or you know, the idea of giving gifts. It's like it's a gift to the other people. It's a gift to your parents and grandparents to be there. And so even though like maybe it's not your favorite thing, like recognizing I'm giving a gift to these people by showing up and
Mm.
doing these things, then it's a shift of like not just how I want to feel, how I want my holiday to go, but how does everyone else want this to look, and how can I help them accomplish that? And that's a lot more fun. Then like the things that you don't enjoy can be enjoyable because you know why you're doing it. Like you're doing it for someone else.
Right.
Like volleyball. Ugh. Playing volleyball, playing crappy volleyball
Hmm.
is an absolute terror to me. But if I know
Why is
that
that?
everyone else is just having fun, then I'm like, okay, I can play crappy volleyball with you.
So, hold on. Explain that more. Like, what do you mean?
When you're playing like with people who have no clue what's going on, they
Mhm.
cannot get the ball back over the net. That is excruciating. It's like the ball comes over and it's just pow out of the court. And that used to make me really frustrated. And after playing with like church leagues and whatnot, there was like a specific point where it clicked for me that was like, you know what? No one here is taking this as seriously as I am. Like everyone's here just to have fun and they're all laughing when they are terrible. So I was like, okay, I can be here and contribute to that fun and like recognize it as two different things. Like there is competitive volleyball where we're trying to do really well, and then
Mhm.
there's fun volleyball where everyone's just like we're just having fun. And I feel like recognizing the two of like if I'm planning my birthday party,
Mhm.
here are the things that I want to be there so that I can enjoy it as much as possible.
Right.
But if I'm planning Christmas, it's a holiday with all these other people who are bringing all of their expectations. Now I'm not going to be as focused on what exactly I want, at least not exclusively, right? I'm going to put more emphasis on what other people want to experience. And
Mm.
so now, like, it's a different attitude of having the best Christmas for me versus creating the best Christmas for everyone. And so now
That
I'm giving a gift.
that hurts because I care a lot about me. I love me some me.
Right? Well, and that's where like where you start to prioritize. Like personally, making eggnog from scratch,
Mhm.
having spicons, Like those are really, and like singing Christmas carols. When it
Yeah.
comes to Christmas, like that's really all I'm looking for.
Yeah.
The other stuff, like you can do whatever you want. You want to open presents on Christmas Eve or Christmas Day or one at a time or whatever, like that is not important to me. So I can say, like, all right, here are the things, the specific things that I'm looking for, and here are the things I'm willing to compromise on.
Interesting. Man, like now, like thinking about that, I always felt like I loved like parties. And I've realized that I just like being around. I don't even care if I'm like part of the party. So it's almost like I'm there. You could put me like I always think about Francie, and we would take Francie to a party, and she'd be in her car seat, and she'd be in the corner, and she'd be like, "I'm good." And I didn't realize that I can totally be like that. So actually, at parties, I get like I can't. I feel like I can't hear. Like when there's a lot of stuff, it's it sounds like the Peanuts gang, like when the mom talks, and like if you go to a bar, I don't hear a conversation ever. And so
Hmm.
like when everybody starts to talk, it's like like I like to be there, but I'm not there at all. And I don't want to do anything. So like my idea of a party is not making the eggnog. It's like I'm gonna sit over here and watch everybody do stuff. And I don't want presents, and I don't want to give anybody presents.
I
I'm
should
just
clarify that I want to make the eggnog by myself.
actually I think that that's huge. So lots of times I feel like just in our household, you know, people like to do stuff. Actually, this just happened the other day. So when we were doing Thanksgiving, we hadn't really planned anything, and Natalie was super busy, and so I went and I bought a turkey. I got some of the things that I was gonna make for Thanksgiving, and um, Thanksgiving morning, uh, Natalie started, or actually no, the night before, Natalie started doing some stuff with the turkey, and then the kids had some things that they were doing, and that was where I shut down. And like, so if I'm gonna do stuff, I don't enjoy doing it together. It's like it's almost like this is my project. I have to figure it out.
Yep.
And when people start stepping in, it's like, well, you can do it. I thought I was going to do it. You know what I mean? And um, that really it's tough for me. And so and then when people ask you to do things like, hey, can you do this? And then, oh no, that's not right. And it's like, well, this is perfectly fine, but it's not the way that you want it. And it's like, I'm done helping. And so those are like my shut. And it's like I'll go back to just hanging out over there, and I'm enjoying this party. You guys are doing great.
Yep. You know what's funny? I was listening to Dax Shepard's podcast,
Hmm.
Armchair Expert. He had, what's his name? Jason, what is his name? The guy from Arrested Development.
Jason Bateman.
Yes. And they were talking about,
It's
I
the
think
one
Dax,
actor that I know.
yeah. They were saying, I think Dax Shepard had a party and Jason Bateman came to it with his wife. I think they're neighbors. And I think like Dax Shepard was super excited to meet him and stressed about like having a cool party. And he found Jason Bateman like sleeping in a room like off by himself and was horrified. But Jason Bateman said he was like, that is like the highest compliment I can pay at a party is that that I'm comfortable enough to leave the party and go sleep somewhere.
That is hilarious.
Yeah, it's not completely weird.
Yeah, yeah. I sort of wonder how many people have weird expectations of what a party is supposed to be like. What is like, what food is supposed to be um, at a party, or like what are the expectations of me, and what kind of expectations am I putting on other people and they don't even know it.
Totally. Oh man,
That's
that's
huge.
huge. Yeah.
Yeah.
And so much of it is unspoken. Like, man, how much frustration comes out of that
Hmm.
when you have unspoken expectations of someone else, or, or if you have like imagined expectations from someone else.
Yeah. Well, I mean, just in any relationship. So, so now take just significant other. And how many times have you heard people say something like, "I wish that they would just take out the garbage more often." Like, don't they know that they should do that? And it's like, did you tell them?
Right.
And I'll tell you what. Now there's both sides of that. So there's number one, did you tell them? And then lots of times when you're told something, the first thing is, I've done it before. I do it all the time. And really, we just got to start thinking that, hey, whether it's a holiday party or just a personal relationship, it's like, yes, I have done it, but right now this person is feeling like they need help with that.
Mm-hmm.
And it's not actually you suck at life. It's, I need some help right now. It might be the garbage right now. Maybe it's stress from something else, and this is the only thing that like it triggered it. And it's like, oh man, maybe they just need a little bit of help right now.
Yeah. Yeah. And so that's where, we're talking about like being asked to do things, but asking if you're a host or if you're a guest, asking like, hey, could you guys help me with whatever? Or as a guest, like, what can I help with? Because otherwise, yeah, like we said, those missed expectations go past each other, and now all of a sudden there's this friction because you thought someone else was going to do this thing this way, and they thought that they didn't have to.
I am the worst at that, whether I'm hosting or not hosting. So if I go to somebody's house, it's like, I'm here. And like, so I'm not asking, hey, do you want me to help clean up? Or because I'm like, I don't know where that goes. And like, you're gonna walk me through every single step. And I also feel the same way on the opposite end. If if somebody's over, I don't expect them to be like cleaning up. I'm like, you don't know where that goes. Now I'm gonna
Mhm.
have to walk you through every step. It's like, I don't want to be doing stuff and telling you what to do. It's like, let's just enjoy our time, and when you go, we'll do it later.
Mhm. Yeah. Man, and I feel like this sort of blurs into like love languages and
Mhm.
personality types, where like if someone is an acts of service person, then they want to help.
Right.
And if you are not, then like it just doesn't make sense. You're like, no, stop. Get out of the way. I'm doing this. Right? And
Yep.
so it again, like it is giving a gift to someone to ask for help and allow them to help, or to ask to help and give them help.
Oh
And
man.
again, just like clarifying the expectations of what you're hoping for and finding out what they're hoping for. Again, like it's a gift. That is this communication side of the holidays. I feel like is probably the biggest gift you can give, especially there's a if you've had tension in the past at
Mhm.
holidays. Is like thinking about that other person. How can I avoid that? How can I help them feel comfortable? It's communication.
Oh man. But I love me some me. Yeah, man. I'll tell you what. I think that's huge. Starting to think of what do like, what would surviving the holidays be? What do I really want out of this? And yeah, like now, like thinking of, all right, if I want this person to be happy, you know, what what do I have to do? And
Hmm.
that might be stay out of the way. you
Yeah.
know. And actually, so like our Thanksgiving uh, uh, story, like so where I just sort of turned off. I did talk to Natalie because I was like, oh man, I just realized that I don't want to have anything to do with this anymore,
Hmm.
and and I hope that nobody feels like this is crappy. It's just like I'm gonna let you do your thing,
Hmm.
and I to be honest, I think that the I'll have to talk to Natalie, but the the whole day went really great. Like we had a great dinner, even though dude, our oven keeps on shutting off. So it's an electric oven, and it seems like if you're cooking something for a long time, it just decides to turn off. But dude, the turkey came out fantastic, and the day was just super chill. And we got to play some games. We watched some movies. Speaking of, we watched Planes, Trains, and Automobiles, and I haven't watched that in forever. And holy
Not
crap,
not
huh?
quite a kids movie.
True. You know, so I keep on like we keep on watching movies and not realizing that the only one I've ever seen is the TV version.
Yep.
And oh my goodness, there was like there was the one F bomb part where it was just F bomb, and we're like, it's gonna stop in a minute. It's no, nope. All right, now it's gonna stop. Nope, nope. And the kids are like, it was pretty hilarious.
Uh, so side story,
Yeah,
in I think eighth grade, end of the year, like last week, we watched Spaceballs,
yeah.
and everyone knew there's an F bomb coming up right toward the end. And so the teacher's like, "All right, I'm gonna fast forward it. Tell me when to stop." And so he's fast forwarding, and someone's like, "Stop!" And he hits play. I'm
That is great.
like,
They got to learn it somewhere. It's better here than on the streets.
yeah. Uh,
But yeah, but yeah. So, well, I guess just to wrap it all up, I think that man, setting up the expectations, because so often we're just shouting stuff out, like I hope I survive it. What do you mean?
mhm.
And now, yeah, like now you can start digging into what would what would not only surviving be, what would be fantastic, what would be
Yeah.
the best holiday ever. It's probably going to be the chili pot, just like we had the flu chili. But yeah, like what does that look like? Who would be there? And
Mhm.
really, I mean, this is like even just designing your future, right? um, when I get to the end of the road, I'm on my deathbed. Who would I be around? Who would what would I have done? And now you can start setting up a path to it, and really start making it good, and find out, hey, who do I need to talk to make that happen? What
Mhm.
what kind of things do I need to change?
Yeah. Yeah, and like you said, like figuring out, being clear about what are the things that you really want to happen, that you're really excited for, and what are the things that you're willing to compromise on, because those are the things that then you can make those expectations clear of like, hey, I'm really excited to do these things. What are your thoughts on this other stuff that I'm not super excited about? Like, how would you like that stuff to go? Because now you can, right, you're compromising. You get the stuff you're most excited about, and you get to help other people have the things that they're most excited about.
Yeah, I like it. Awesome.
Cool.
Well,
All
yeah,
right,
I hope you
everyone.
survive the holidays. I hope that
Yep.
we do, especially go back on that Facebook group and see how it's going.
I only saw the start where like Megan had 3 Christmases in a row.
Hmm. Yeah, go back and look. It's fun. I was like,
Excellent.
turn off. Boop. I was actually off of that page for a while because it was just like too much. Stop dinging me. Well,
uh,
awesome, Eric. I will see you next week. And if you guys want to see us and you can't catch us live, you guys can always find us on the CrossFit Chicago Heights YouTube page. If you guys want to reach out to Eric, for any kind of nutrition help. So Fit to Thrive Nutrition, is that right?
Yeah, if it, what is it? Go to Eric McGathy.
Eric McGathy.
Yep.
All right. And yeah, we will see you guys later.
Cool. See ya.